Welcome back, everybody, and Cait Sith, you've got some explaining to do. Hey!
Wait a second, I won't run or hide, I promise.
Oh, you're gonna get stripped of all your stuffing.
Yes, I was a spy. I was hired by the Shinra.
Don't mess with us.
Yeah, she can punch you into non-existence. I couldn't help it.
Yes, you could.
How about if we continue like nothing ever happened?
Yeah, that ain't happening, dude. That ain't happening. No way, Cat. You got a lot of guts acting like a friend but being a spy. I like Cloud in this point.
Then what are you going to do? Kill me?
Strip you for parts.
You'd just be wasting your time if you tried. This body's just a toy anyway.
Yeah, but we could use the parts.
My real body's at Shinra headquarters in Midgar. I'm controlling this toy cat from there.
Still gonna strip you for parts, I don't care. So you're from Shinra. Who are you?
Whoa, I can't tell you my name.
Yes, you can. We're not getting anywhere.
See, I told you, talking won't do any good, so can't we just continue our journey?
No. No, you betrayed us. We can't trust you anymore. You think I'm joking?
Alright, yes, I'm a Shinra employee. But we're not entirely enemies.
Yeah, we are. You betrayed us.
Something bothers me. I think it's your way of life.
That's great and all, but
you don't get paid, you don't get praised, yet you still risk your lives and continue on your journey. Seeing that makes me... I don't care what it makes you. It just makes me think about my life. I just don't think I'd feel too good if things ended the way they are now.
Then you shouldn't have betrayed us. I hate to hammer the point, but you betrayed us. You're lying again. Yes, you are. He'll never tell the truth. Once a spy, always a spy. We can't go on with someone like that. Come on, get real.
Just as I thought, talking won't make a bit of difference. But I prepared something in case this happened.
Oh, you did, huh?
Why don't you listen to this?
Papa? Tifa?
Marlene! Oh, you just get even more douchey.
Hey, it's Tifa! Tifa, help! I'm...
So you have to do as I say.
You see why I don't like this cat? You are the lowest.
I didn't want to do this, using dirty tricks and taking hostages, and yet you did. But this is how it is. No compromises. So why don't we continue on as we did?
This is where you notice that he doesn't really hit my... In fact, if I could play this game without leveling that character, I would.
Tomorrow is the Temple of the Ancients, right? I know where it is, so I'll tell you later. Of course, we'll get there after the Shinra, but you'll have to deal with that.
Yeah, I level this guy out of sheer necessity. Oh, we're stuck. We'll have to do what he says. But I don't max him. Marlene. So, yeah, if you'll remember back to when we were in Gongaga, we were kind of wondering if there was a mole. He's the mole. And it gets even worse when you find out who he actually is, because any of his arguments that he just barely made go right out the door and make him a... You can't even empathize with the character. You can't sympathize with him, you can't empathize with him. It gets worse.
What took you so long, Cloud?
I was contemplating ways on how to kill you.
Oh yeah, about the Temple of the Ancients. I think if we take the tiny Bronco east towards the sea, we should be able to find it. Well then, shall we get going? Who's gonna go?
Not you.
I want to go. I'm going for sure.
Okay, so you have to take Eris. That's the bottom line here. And then we're just going to keep Red 13 because he's kind of our default party member right now. Trust me, party members are going to change.
Then we'll see you later.
Party members will change later on, but I do kind of like this setup for the first disc at the very least. Like, because we're actually getting... Fun fact, we're actually getting near the end of Disc 1. Because the Temple of the Ancients arc is kind of one of those last little wrap-ups that Disc 1 does. But yeah, there's so many things I could say about Cait Sith, and nothing about the reveals that we find out, because you eventually find out who he is, like who is actually controlling the cat and the robot, and it doesn't help, especially later things that happen with this character don't help that, because the bottom line is he took a hostage. He took a hostage to stay in your party. It's one of those things where if I could actually manually remove him, and I wouldn't even care if it broke the game. This pissed me off as a kid. This pisses me off now. I never liked this reveal at all. I didn't like the character to begin with. I wasn't necessarily attached to it. It's kind of like Yuffie for me, but at least Yuffie kind of acts honorably compared to this one. Kind of. This one, obviously, Cait Sith pisses me off a lot more than Yuffie, and it irritates me that he's still got like focus on. I can't remember if he was actually in Advent. I think he was in Advent Children, but he got a big focus in Dirge of Cerberus. Oh, that pissed me off. Pissed me off to no end. So anyway, yeah, we have the keystone. Well, we don't have the keystone because Cait Sith, the dick that he is, gave over the keystone, so we'll get there last to the temple. But now we are on our way to the Temple of the Ancients. Happy Thursday, everybody. And also, Merry Christmas to those who celebrated it and all the various other holidays in between. I hope you had a good one. For me, it was a very busy one, especially in case you guys didn't get the announcement last week. Andrea is pregnant with our second child, so we had to go and do the announcement tour and all that stuff. So we are very tired, but I still wanted to be able to give you guys some Final Fantasy VII content while I'm technically still on vacation for another 2 weeks. So after that, we'll resume active schedule once again. And actually, I'm just going to warn people in advance, there will be some announcements coming up on the channel, I want to say at the beginning of the new year. Because you guys are going to get a whole new slew of videos. I've been working very hard on them. That's why you haven't seen them. I wanted to be able to get them just right. So, in fact, they are what you think they are. They are the WoW top 10s and all that. And by the way, I actually did take a quick grinding break and went back to Wutai just to work on limits and whatnot for the Temple of the Ancients. But they're going to be addressing a number of things. Basically, how the channel is going to be working in 2018, obviously to compensate for what we have to get used to in the coming year with the second kid. And here it is, the Temple of the Ancients. And already, it's got a catnip effect for Eris.
This is the Temple of the Ancients. I know. I feel it. The knowledge of the Ancients floating.
I don't see floating books.
You could become one with the planet, but you're stopping it with the strength of will.
Okay, that's weird.
For the future? For us? What are you saying? Do you understand?
Not really. I don't think she entirely gets it.
You're uneasy, but happy. Because I'm here? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
I don't think you're supposed to, Eris.
I want to go inside.
Oh, and a man with a black cloak is here, so that's already not a good sign. And in fact, you can talk to him.
Black materia.
Thump.
Look.
He's number 9. There's a tattoo. Oh, and what's this? Oh, and he's officially dead. Yay, he goes off to rejoin the planet, I guess.
Hey, it's Sang.
And it looks like he's hurt. Good. Sang? Of the Turks?
I've been had.
Oh, Cait Sith betrayed you too?
It's not the promised land Sephiroth is searching for.
Somebody got stabbed. Sephiroth, he's inside.
Look for yourself. Damn. Letting Eris go was the start of my bad luck. The president was wrong.
You're wrong. The Promised Land isn't like what you imagined.
It's not milk and cookies?
And I'm not going to help. Either way, there was no way Shinra could have won.
Pretty harsh. Sounds like something you'd say. Oh. The keystone. Place it on the altar.
I like to imagine like he's got blood going down his lips at this point. Because yes, he's been stabbed. Are you crying? Well, suck it up, Missy.
Sang's with our enemy, the Turks. But I've known him since we were little.
Yeah, he's been hunting you since you were little.
There's not a lot of people I can say that about. In fact, there are probably only a handful of people in the world who really know me.
And Sang isn't one of them. Alright, so go ahead and use the keystone. Let's put the keystone in. This is actually a really cool effect, and I'm glad that this got done. So you don't even know where he puts the keystone, but you could kind of see like this weird Mako flow happen, and as soon as it falls over, then the magic kicks in. And now we can officially start the Temple of the Ancients. And this is a room I have no problem saying. This room annoys me to this day.
Words, feelings. So many of them here.
Hey, look, a black mage!
This place smells good. It smells the same as Cosmo Canyon.
Could that be an illusion?
Cloud, I know it's going to be tough, but don't give up. We can do it.
I'm sure we can. I wasn't really worried about that. So, I need to explain this really quick. This room, as a kid, frustrated me, and it still frustrates me to this day because, as you guys will be able to see, it takes a while to be able to figure out all the treasures in this area. And the reason it frustrated me was when I was a kid, I remember seeing like the early, I don't remember the artist who actually did it, but like the art that this is basically inspired by. And around that time, I also saw for the first time the movie Labyrinth and the ending one there. And the only reason that this kind of a room with multiple staircases that go up, down, and all around is annoying to me is because around that time, I literally looked at it as a maze. I'm like, oh, cool, I love mazes. Where's the start point? And that was always the problem, is like, you know, usually on a maze that you would get in school or whatever, you'd get you start here. And I could never find where that was supposed to be. So originally, like, I thought this was amazing art, but only in the fact that it could have been like something that I could do on a road trip kind of thing. And I actually remember getting in huge trouble with my teacher. Like, I actually had a confrontation with my teacher, and I think it was early, it was like first or second grade. Having a legit confrontation with my teacher because I couldn't figure out where it started, and therefore I hated it. And around that time was like, you're a kid, and when you hate something, you want to show that you hate it, kind of thing. So at that point, like, I would look, you know, I was in a museum. Sealed. That sounds brings back memories. Technically, that's actually how you get out, so don't worry too much about that. But you know, you want to show your frustration for that, and we were in a museum or whatever, and I remember seeing like a little rock or something like that, and I actually did throw it at it, and thankfully it didn't break anything. Like, it didn't break the glass that was in, or it didn't break the casing anything like that, but man, I was in serious trouble after that. All because I couldn't find out where it began. So word to the wise, don't do that. Yum, yum. And by the way, Black Mage!
Ooh, we finally caught up to you.
Yeah, I'm not hooing.
I'm sorry, you waited for me.
What?
Those are the spirit bodies of the ancients. They've been away from their planet for a long time to protect this temple.
Okay. I like the fact that they look like black mages.
Over the many years, they've lost the ability to talk. Actually, they didn't need words from the beginning, because there was only one objective for those left in the temple.
Okay. And what's that objective?
Please, talk to me. No good. I don't understand the rest. Are you afraid? Is it because Sephiroth is in the temple? Or something else?
Now, I do... So, this is basically all you can find out is, like, everything about this place is mystery. And that's the way it should be. Is like, this is a wellspring of... Much like Cosmo Canyon, it's kind of a wellspring area of the life stream. But at the same time, it's also a place of great knowledge. And also great consequence. Anyway, back to my story. So yeah, and let me clarify. It wasn't a big rock. It was like one of those tiny little granite pebbles that you would get like in an old school playground. Threw it at the thing. Thankfully, I didn't break anything because I would have been in serious trouble at that point. But I got into a legit confrontation with my teacher over the fact that, you know, to me, it was not art. It was a game. It was a game, and I couldn't figure out where to start so that I could start figuring it out. And also, we were on a tour, and I wanted to sit back and do this. I wasn't interested in looking at your dang Mona Lisa. So this is actually one of those things that's always frustrated me. I even couldn't watch Labyrinth again for a long time because that room would always bug me. Now I'm not necessarily that, but I mean, oh, geez, this kind of a room just got me in trouble so many times, and not necessarily connected with Final Fantasy VII, but I wanted to at least share that because these kinds of rooms always are frustrating to me. And right now, I'm just kind of making my way to find all of the treasure chests here because this is kind of a make it or break it area. You can find everything in it, or all the stuff that you want, and that's great. But if you don't, you can't necessarily come back. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but basically, circumstance will not allow you to come back to this particular temple. Or it won't let you come back to the Temple of the Ancients. Once you've gone through it, you've gone through it. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You guys will understand when we get there later. But make sure you get everything that you want to get out of here, including like any enemy skills or anything that you might be missing. I'm getting every weapon basically because I want to check out their growth, because if I can get more double growth weapons that are more powerful, that's even better. So this is technically where you can advance into the temple. We're not going to advance because you guys can see we don't have every chest yet. And I guess while we're working on that, let me get back into the announcements. So you guys are going to get a bunch of announcements. I'm actually going to do multiple videos on it, just to kind of explain like how the channel is going to be affected by things like my wife's pregnancy and all that in 2018, plus some other changes that are going to be happening because I kind of have to account for YouTube's bad rep right now and kind of refocus a few things. The other thing, too, that I also want to point out is to any Diablo fans that watch this, you are going to get an announcement, too, because I've been getting a lot of questions. Where is Diablo 2? It's going to get finished, guys. Basically, I'll outline it all in that announcement, but I've had such problems trying to kill Diablo that I thought maybe, okay, if I go and grind on my Necromancer, then I'll be able to make it work. And it's just nothing to sum things up. I've done multiple attempts on him, and I can't seem to get him below like 3/4 health before having some major problems, especially given the summoner build that I took. I even actually, because I made so many mistakes on my Necromancer that we did the quest with, I went and remade a Necromancer and did it right, and I still had issues. Like, I think I maybe got him almost to half health once, but I still wasn't getting any further than that. And that's what I've been doing. I've actually been working on... I've been following you guys' advice. I've been taking on other classes just to see if I can get Diablo down. So, Diablo's going down. I'm officially committed to this, guys, so don't worry too much about that. It's gonna happen. Well, you know, over my dead body. This channel will die, but it will die a happy one where I've completed both Diablo and Baal. I just don't know if it'll happen on the Necromancer. What we might need to do is just the remainder of it we'll do on another class. One that probably I can get the job done a little bit better on, especially solo. Can't really do that on my own. And so I'm just pointing that out for the record right now. I think right now I'm consulting the guide to see if I can figure out where I actually can go. So yeah, there's going to be a Diablo announcement, there's going to be scheduling announcements, and also a Why We Geek announcement, because I've been getting a lot of stuff from you guys on the state of Why We Geek. I know that you guys know there's an RSS feed, but since it started on YouTube, a lot of people have been asking, are you going to be putting up any more episodes on YouTube, or is it just strictly going to be on the RSS feed? We'll be covering an announcement for that too. And we're also probably going to magic cut at this point. Okay, we're back. So I was actually consulting the guide to be able to figure out how to get to these other ones, because you can see there's a piece of materia and there's a chest in this area. I want to be able to get them both. But it ain't easy, and it's not supposed to be. So yeah, you're going to get a few announcement vlogs for 2017, as well as some goals that I do have for all of the stuff that's going to be happening this year, and also kind of a shift of focus. So hopefully, I believe there's not going to be a lot of bad news for you guys, but I'm just going to preface that right now. I'm not trying to do that. But you also might get some additional stuff, because I did reach out to you guys over the holidays on possible other ideas I've been thinking of. Funniest thing, when you're on vacation, you can actually start thinking of some new ideas for the channel that you maybe didn't consider before. And I've brought a lot of those to fellow YouTubers as well as to you guys in chat rooms. And I'm fairly optimistic about them now. So we're going to try them out and see if they work out. They're not big things. Like, I've always wanted to try and do more stuff, more voiceover related stuff here, because I know a number of you guys are actually excited about the fact that I do voiceover, and I don't... Somebody actually did ask a while ago why I don't advertise my voiceover stuff on YouTube. It's more of an oversight, actually. It's not that I intentionally left you guys out or anything like that. I kept them separate. And I'm actually considering, well, not doing that anymore. So if you guys want to reach out for some voiceover work, you can do that. And I'll give you guys kind of my more professional page and means of which to contact me. Because I think a few people reached out and said, like, would you be interested in doing this, that, or the other? And I'm like, well, yeah. But I was so focused on trying to get other things going that either I didn't get back to them or other stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to integrate those. The other cool thing that we're probably going to be doing is, I'm going to spoil it because it's something that I should have done a long time ago, but I am officially working on a website. So a hosting website for all content that I do. Because I know a lot of you have been frustrated, like you point us in 6 different directions with your podcasts and your YouTube and all that. Why not just have a main hub for everything? I'm working on that, actually. So you guys will be able to get that. The main reason I haven't done that is because, well, I'm not that savvy when it comes to website creation. I was always hoping that I could get a guy to be able to help me with that situation, and it just never happened. But thankfully, through new communities that I've gotten access to in this year, I've been able to find some easier ways to be able to make that happen. So we're gonna do it and see how well it works out. I think it'll be just fine, but you guys can let me know, obviously. in the comments below. And like I said, all of this is going to be put up very soon on the channel, and that's going to go ahead and do it for this week. So when we get back, we will continue to venture forth in the Temple of the Ancients.